I've also packed a range of fishing tackle to take with me to Cape Verde, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a little rummage through this bag here, a nice little Abu Garcia fishing bag, and just show you the sort of tackle that I brought with me to Cape Verde to do a bit of beach fishing. Just going to unpack that now so you can see exactly. As you will see, I've got a range of items on the table here that I've packed for my fishing trip to Cape Verde, and I'm just going to go through some of the essential items that you need. Most importantly, it's a very hot country, so I've got myself a pair of Polaroid sunglasses here. Okay, essential for certainly daytime fishing when the sun is blazing down. And then likewise, in the evening time, you're definitely going to need a headlamp. It gets extremely dark when that sun goes down, so you need the headlamp, obviously with a spare battery, and don't forget your charger. Other essential items, of course, is the customary fishing rag, a hat to keep the sun off your head, some beach shoes just in case there's a little bit of a rocky area out there, just enables you to stand out there for a little bit longer. And I've also bought a collapsible fishing bucket. It's UPVC coated, and just in case you get some of those live baits, you can just dump them in there and just keep them alive if you're doing a bit of shark fishing. Just going to switch off the camera, and then I'll come back to the rest of the items that I've packed. Now, of course, you need a decent tackle bag, so I've got an Abu Garcia. Very small, it's lightweight, and it's got some nice neat little pockets in there that will take most, bits of your tackle, etc, etc. Got a range of traces and lures. I've just bought a variety with me, some little jelly ones, nice little coloured ones when you're doing your spinning, maybe to catch some live baits and things like that. Just something that you can get from your local tackle shop. Okay, and I've got some made up traces as well. In my Tronics Pro sort of rig box, 2 hook flappers, 1 up, 1 down, got some feathers there as well, pair of scissors, nice sharp scissors for the obvious, and I've also bought some braid scissors as well because my spinning reel's got some braid on it, and just a little box of bits and pieces. You've got to keep the weight down in your suitcase. Okay, so don't bring too many leads with you because you go over your weight. Put some hooks in there, some swivels, snap links, that sort of thing. Okay, that's all quite handy. Just going to switch off the video as I move on to the next bit. Going to talk about the reels I bought with me and some other items. Okay, and we've also got some forceps for that sort of deep hook removal. Bought some thread with me as well, because the sort of fish baits that we use out here, you can't dig worms, ragworm, black lug, that sort of stuff. So it's always fish baits like prawns, so you might have to just tie it on with a bit of elasticated thread. 2 reels I bought with my little spinning reel with some braid on, a little bit of a shock leader on the end of that for my spinning rod, so for those live baits. And for my beach rod, I've got 2 reels here. I've got my Millionaire 7HT with 80-pound shock on and a 14-pound main line, and then I've got my what I call the grunt of the family, my Penn 515 Mag 2. It's got a good gear ratio to it. Again, 60 to 80-pound shock leader on that, just in case I need it. It can get a little bit rough out there at times. Most of the time, the sort of leads I use out here, just a very standard, as you can see I've already been out with this one, 4-ounce pyramid lead. It holds bottom quite nicely because it just digs into the sand a little bit. Now the most important thing is this water bottle over here. Chop it in 2. 1/2 keeps all my leads nicely in there if I need them, the breakaways, and this other half, I'll show you what I do with that later on, but that's quite a useful tool to have on the beach, especially a sandy beach. And I'll be going fishing later on, sometime between 5 and 8 o'clock this evening. The fishing is most productive when that sun starts to go down. It's a little bit windy during the day and the wind tails off. As we move into that sort of evening period, and then we seem to get quite a hive of activity with the fishing and the bites and some decent fishing between that sort of 3 to 4 hour period. And then I'll show you exactly what I do on the beach, just to show you that you can combine a decent sunshine holiday with a little bit of fishing, and if you put your mind to it, you get most of what you need in your suitcase. Now, don't forget to source your bait. The best bait for out here in Cape Verde are the fresh prawns, and you can source those from the local restaurant. You might have to pay a few euros, but they're more than happy to go and get them for you. Most rooms have got fridges in, so that's the sort of thing. That's all you need, is a bit of fresh prawn. Keep them in a plastic bag or one of these containers. They came frozen, so you get them in the fridge nice and early and they'll keep for a few days. But all I do is take the heads off and then just attach the bodies straight onto my hooks, which I'll show you when I get on the beach later on. Oh, there's one that's already headless. Okay, nice little range of prawns there. Depends how many hooks you fish, but normally I just take half a dozen prawns down at a time, and that'll do me for a decent, couple of hours fishing session. Okay, in this sort of heat they will go off quite quickly, so it's very important that you keep them cool and keep them in that fridge. And that's what I look forward to using later on, and we'll see what sort of activity and rod action we get.